I think for houses, right, two areas is very important for my view. First of all is the and secondly will be the 10 years ago, right, my cousin buy Pinnacle and he tell me that a lot of people scold him.
Hi, today in this video, I actually have invited Wilson from Rezt Relax to actually help us to answer some of the questions related to the renovation market. This series is actually called the Ask the Expert Series. I'm Randall and I am thankful that you all are joining us in this video. So do click the subscribe button and also ring the notifications bell if you want to see more videos like this. So without further ado, let's start our interview with Wilson. So Wilson, just to check with you, for newlywed couples, right, what can they do to actually plan out their renovations to be more affordably and all that?
Okay, basically for a new couple, right, especially the first time when they are doing renovation, okay, it depends. If we have some customer, right, that they actually they're not going to stay long for the first house. So he might be going to sell maybe after 5 years or after 10 years. Normally, we will suggest to this group of customers that maybe you can done up something more comfortable, but we don't have to really spend too much on your renovation. Normally, these sort of cases, right, will be maybe the budget will be below 20K.
Oh, okay.
Right, and we will actually suggest our homeowner, right, to focus on some area. I think for houses, right, two areas is very important for my view. First of all is the kitchen cabinet.
Oh, okay.
All right, and secondly will be the master bedroom.
The next question that I wanted to lead to is that for renovation items, right, because there are some things that you mentioned to me earlier that can be bought online and certain things cannot be bought online. Are there any suggestions on which can be taken online or which cannot be taken?
Okay, I think basically for online item, right, we'll actually encourage our owner not to buy those things that you need to use every day, especially we talk about light bulbs, LED light. Alright, because in online, right, you won't know whether this type of lighting, right, is actually approved by the Singapore. You know, because this type of LED light is every day you are using. We're talking about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. Alright, so if this is not under Singapore safety mark, right, so if anything happen, then I think that the insurer maybe have some issue. So I will just suggest a thing that you're not going to use every time. Example, you talk about display, plate, cabinet. Yeah, I think all those you can actually buy online. Yeah, and of course you can have slightly tips if let's say you got friend that actually buy online and they think it's usable. I think I think this is also one of the way that you can actually buy online based on what your friend have buy already.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So mainly it's like, for example, some of the items that your friends already used before and you see them using,
right,
and it's quite good. You can actually follow their advice.
Yes, we have a few cases. Example, we have one customer buy lighting from online, and when the things come, right, it's actually left out 2-3 items, just a small little screw. But because of this small little screw, right, the whole light we cannot use because this is not in Singapore.
Okay.
So we can't have those like spare part. So
Okay.
that this is something that you need to take note on that.
Yeah, so moving on to the next question is that because for myself, right, actually I am planning for my own renovations in a house that I recently just bought. So I wanted to actually find out from you is that should I let the ID do a full quotation for me, or what items you think can be done by DIY?
I think normally as an ID, right, they are actually helping a homeowner, right, to done up a nice concept, the flow. Yeah, because ID will understand what type of color to use and the flow. So I think in terms on DIY, right, there's a lot of things you can DIY, especially a wallpaper, the display, and some soft finishing.
Because we had a chat earlier, is that you mentioned there are some items that definitely have the same aesthetic look, but in terms of certain materials, we are able to use more affordable materials. Maybe you can share with the viewers on what kind of materials are they.
Okay, so maybe nowadays there's a lot of nice material, like we can use wood panel to actually take over carpentry work. So nowadays they have this type of plastic wood panel. It looks like wood panel, but it's actually a plastic type, and the cost is much more cheaper. And also nowadays we have a lot of technology. Example, for our own timer, right? Because I've been renovation for 20 over years. 20 years ago, when you want to do a toilet, there's only one way: to hack and to put new tiles. But nowadays, because of technology, right, we can using those hardener epoxy paint. You don't even need to hack the wall. You just need to epoxy paint over, and it give you a marble look. And even nowadays, we have this material called vinyl floor. You can overlay in the toilet in the wet area, and it give you 10 years warranty. So it save a lot of time, cost, and also money.
Okay.
Yes, this is a few material that actually recently in market, is actually quite famous.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, like for example, the epoxy flooring and also the vinyl flooring. So these are a few options that you suggest for owners to actually save costs and
save costs, and also I think save time. Alright, but I think not only that, but I think a vinyl flooring is a different type of feeling. It's more soft and it's more cozy. Yes, right.
So for vinyl flooring, as compared to previously, because there's laminate flooring around the market. So in terms of these two materials itself, what do you say is like the waterproofing and all that kind of things?
Because for vinyl floor, right, it's actually tested is water resistant. For laminate floor, it still belong to like, you know, there's some material of compressed wood inside. Yeah, as for vinyl, there's no wood involved. It's using rubber. Right, so in terms of water, right, I think vinyl is more suitable than laminates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you mentioned, like the toilet areas, sometimes we can use like either the epoxy or the vinyl flooring to actually help with the whole feel of the place.
Yes.
So the next questions that I would like to ask you is that, for example, in terms of the built-in items, what do you advise for the viewers? Like for example, some cabinetry can be built-in, and some items, what advice you have for them? Like for example, computer table, do you suggest to build in, or what's your suggestions on that?
I think basically it's still narrowed down to budget. Okay, like for myself, I will always like to buy off shelf for study area. Example, nowadays have those like, you know, electrical table that can be raised up and raised down. And also I will actually buy those like a bookshelf from off shelf also. Yeah, I think that can be nicer design, right? And I always like to have those loose buy like TV console. Nowadays the TV console is very nice, and the color is nice, workmanship is nice. Yes,
okay.
Right. So in terms of fixed furnishing, right, basically it will be wardrobe and kitchen. I think the rest of them, it can be loose buy. I think that will be quite nice also.
Actually, leading on to the next part is because you mentioned earlier about the color scheme and all that. So what kind of design you feel is timeless for future in terms of reselling the property in the future lah?
Okay, I think that timeless to me is things to keep it simple, useful, and I think you feel comfortable when you go back home. Alright, so I think nowadays those like Scandi type will be quite timeless. A very type of simple with nice matching wood. Yes, and also those earth tone design also is very nice, like light grey with some brown. Alright, very simple. I think that will be quite timeless. Of course, we have some owner that they want something very loud. You know, like I have one customer, they like the whole house to be pink.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and also they like happy color. There's nothing wrong that you like to have happy color, like red, pink, or yellow. It's all different type of character.
If they just want to buy this place for the next 5 years to 10 years and just want to sell it away, which kind of things do you feel like they should avoid and make sure that the property is easier to accepted by the next buyer lah?
Okay, I have some owner, right, that they call me and say thank you. I say, why you call me and thank you? He said that, hey, Wilson, because of you done up a very nice design concept, and the next owner, right, when they come in, they don't even need to do anything. They just bring their luggage and they just move in. So sometimes if your design is nice and you plan it very nicely with a very great proposal with like space planning, right? I think the next owner that come in, right, will be happy.
Okay.
There are a few owners that actually call us and say thank you that we actually done a very good space planning for them. And so for the next buyer, right? Normally this type of buyer is they don't want to have spent so much of time for reno, and they like the concept, and it is easier for them to accept and sell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I make an example. I have one customer that actually, they have two of them, so they buy a HDB 5-room flat.
Yeah.
They actually hack down all the wall. They just have one bedroom and a walk-in wardrobe.
Wow.
Yeah. So the wife is worried when they selling the house. How if people have kids, then how they going to build back the room.
Correct.
But what happened, people who buy the house, right, is their same mindset. It's also 2% only.
Okay.
Means that there's a lot of buyer who go and see the house. I think the buyer who actually like the designs, they have the same concept that have like the yeah. I think those people that want to have a lot of room won't buy the house.
Okay.
So in diary, right, the house sell in a high price because the wife really love it. The walk-in wardrobe, like the whole house, just a bedroom and a walk-in wardrobe, which is the wife is very happy, and she don't need to crack the head to go in and yes. So I think sometimes so somehow you get the right person to buy the house.
Understand.
Not to worry too much because there's a lot of viewing will come in, not only one or two, or restrict only for people that have kids. You see.
Understand.
Yeah, right.
Understand. For example, someone is selling a house today. Is there any ways to increase the value of the house?
I think first of all, if you have this mindset that you're going to sell in 5 years' time on a high price, right? First of all, I think take care is important.
So
all right, I think we don't sell a house for a next buyer that the whole kitchen going to look very old,
Because all the questions now have ended already, but maybe we can ask Wilson a little bit more onto his own property journey.
Oh, property journey,
yeah,
right?
How you started? Because I understand that you have 3 or 4 properties.
Right. Yeah, maybe I just share a bit. I think the mindset is important. I think first of all, when I buy the property, right, the first thing in my mind is to save money. Not on like invest. Yeah, it's more on like we save the money, because to me, you talk about investment, there's a lot of investment you can invest, But to me, right, in Singapore, right, property is the most safe. I can't say 100% no risk, but I think the risk is very low. And in Singapore, right, I think the renting rate is very high. Okay, recently I bought one in the West area, TOP, I think 1 year ago. So my mindset is someone going to help me to pay the rental for 20 years. So after 20 years, when the time I 要退休了 so the house is fully paid by someone else. Yeah, so I think this is like a save money concept. Okay. In Singapore, it's not like those when you buy then 涨很多 like that. To me, I think it's quite safe . Yeah, that's why I do this type of investment. Yeah.
So I guess in summary, the message that you want to mention is that don't buy the property just to make money out of it. It's possibly like telling yourself that for this month I want to save this amount of money and all that. It's like a plan forward, like force yourself to earn more. So
maybe yes.
Then
yes,
after that
right.
you can save the money.
Because I have one mindset is in the Chinese word if the money you put in the bank you never use it's called the 死钱. Means that it's not moving. Yeah. So I read the book. The book say that the money must be useful, so it can become 活钱. So
like
the money,
like
the money can actually flow around.
Correct.
Yeah, correct. So I think, yeah, of course, it's a bit tough. It's not a bit. It's very tough that you need to tighten all your expenses because you need to actually, pay this and pay that for the loan, everything.
Correct.
But I think that this is a very good way to invest because you see the real thing. Yeah, a lot of things that we invest, maybe you can't see the real thing. But in Singapore, this you can be seen.
So physically, you can go there, take a look, touch and feel.
Yes, correct. So yeah, again, we just do it on your comfort level, not to overstretch. I think that would be good.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah. So also the next question I'd like to ask you is that, like, because for all these properties that you buy and all that, like, because I have a lot of business owners that are actually approaching me to plan out their own property portfolio. Like, because some of them are currently owning a fully paid HDB. So what's your advice and how do you actually manage to step out from your first journey?
Okay, I think I have no comment on others. Like maybe I talk about myself. Okay, before I know my friend as an agent, to me, right, I have to keep my HDB. I don't know, as a Singaporean, maybe I think this way. Like, I must keep the HDB. Like, if I never keep like 出卖国家 like that, you know, something like that. like 很不稳定 like that. So after I talked to this agent, my friend, so he give me some explanation. So I think that logic that if he just give me some figure, he just tell me, Wilson, if this HDB can let you earn maybe 100,000, but you imagine today you stay in the condo, you can earn more than that. It cannot be a condo, the profit lower than a HDB. This is what he tell me lah. So I think that it like makes sense like that, no? That is why I actually step up my first move. It's not easy. I really think a lot, you know, because it's so comfort that he stay in a HDB, you know, and he will grow, you know. Yeah. So it's not easy to let go lah.
So you in a way, I would say, fall in love with your first property lah.
Yes. But I think because I got 5 kids, I think the first thing will also help me to buy to move to a property on the private is because of the facility lah. Because I got 5 kids ma. So I think that is also part of the very important reason why I actually move out from HDB, because you know, they can enjoy, because I'm a working holic, you know, work, you know, never stop one lah. So yeah lah. So I also wish that my kids get their own friend that don't need to wait for my company. So they go there, they got swimming pool, they got party, you know. So I think that is also one of the reasons why I actually move out from HDB. Yeah. Alright. But I'm trying to say that there's nothing wrong that you stay in the HDB. It's only that if you have this like certain area that your HDB grow, we talk about like Pinnacle. I know that Pinnacle, 10 years ago, right? My cousin buy Pinnacle, and he tell me that a lot of people scold him because 10 years ago when you buy Pinnacle, right? I think the selling price is around 400 to 500,000.
Yes.
So 10 years ago, right? Everyone scold him. So 10 years later, now can sell 1 mil.
Yeah, lor. So everyone say different thing to him. Right?
Yeah. So now he moved to. So he tell me that he downgrade on the area, but he upgrade on the living standard. Yeah, he actually sell off the Pinnacle to downgrade to maybe not a good area, but he moved in a condo and the lifestyle have improved lah. Means that the kids can go, you know, swimming pool, everything. Yeah. So I think, okay, I don't know, but to me, I think he make a good choice. That he used up the profit to buy the house. Yeah.
Right. So I think in summary is that sometimes after we go on to certain stages in life is how do we plan for the next step lah.
Yeah, maybe yes. Because like I always tell my mom, "Aiya, mom, 30 years ago, why you never think of buy this one, buy that one?" You know, as 30 years ago, right? You were shocked that you see the landed house, the price of maybe only cost you few hundred thousand. Now is how many billions on that?
Yeah.
So I always tell Mom, last time why don't you buy this, buy that? So now my turn. I don't know 20 years later what will happen, but I think that if I can afford it, I think I should try to buy and wait for another 20 years.
Yeah, I think when you mentioned your mom also, I also thought of my parents because in my previous video I also mentioned that they miss out opportunity to buy Shunfu Vale.
Yeah.
They bought HDB. Yeah. So if they bought that now retire, sure.
Last time we are used to stay in the Chinatown, the shop house.
That's very different.
Yeah, so I tell my mom, you know, now the shop house cost how much or not? That time why you never buy? Because rented my last time. We stay at the somewhere near the Clarke Quay. I still remember when I was young.
Nice location, but different perspective.
Yeah,
right. Solding, keep rental, you are giving rent.
So I think I'm actually quite a very emotion person. So I'm not really go into very logic lah. I just see that in Singapore, right, it's safe and also based on so many info that a lot of foreigners also, you know, come into Singapore. So I think as a Singaporean, we are lucky lah because we can buy more choice. Yeah, so I think that can consider lah. So so I think that is quite a good thing that we can think about. Yeah.
So So I think we have more or less covered all the questions already.
Right.
Last but not least, I'd like to thank you all for joining us in today's Ask the Expert series. So if you'd like to find out more on the other Ask the Expert series, do click the subscribe button, and I look forward to see you on the next video.
Thank you.